Let's keep going on the Epstein files. Once again, guys, I guarantee you that what has come out, which is bad enough, is not even a fraction of what is been discovered. They're not talking about the island. They're not talking about nothing, man. But from what I've seen and what I've heard, and a lot of these people are digging into these files like, oh my God. Oh my God. You know what they're doing to these kids. I've seen one guy playing a video on Instagram where 15, 20 kids were in this room with a bunch of dudes that were trying to sell these kids for sex or whatever the hell it was. You know, you're talking 7, 8-year-old kids. He grabbed one kid by the neck and threw him in a bathtub and started dunking him in front of all these buyers. And all the other little kids were just screaming and crying. And you start to realize that this shit is actually going down. This isn't even Epstein. Epstein is a freaking monster, dude, from what I'm hearing from all these files. But this shit is going on all over. You know, beyond Epstein. And you know, dude, you start thinking about it, it's like, what in the hell, man? What kind of world are we living in that they're getting away with this shit? Let me give one more example here. A lady named Nancy Schaefer, I made videos on her. She was a state senator for Kentucky or somewhere down south. Her and her husband were going after the DCFS, Child Protective Services, because they were taking kids. All 50 states are involved in this. All 50 states are doing it. They're taking kids from parents that should not be taken from parents, and these kids are placed in homes or individuals' hands where they're being raped and murdered or whatever the hell is going on. But somehow the whole system, Child Protective Services, are making billions of dollars by doing this one way or another. Okay? It's a business. All of it. The root of all evil, man. I'm going to say it again over and over and over and over and over. The Bible says that money is the root of all evil. Nancy Schaefer, her and her husband were trying to expose DCFS. They were both killed. Look it up. They claim that he shot her and then he shot himself. Bullshit. This woman was going after the higher ups. She was trying to expose an industry where all the states in the United States were taking kids from parents. She was trying to expose all that. And they were murdered. Her and her husband. And they made up some bullshit story to cover it up. And there you go. Just like Epstein. Everybody wants it covered up, you know? And here's the thing with Epstein. This frickin' dude, the more I hear about him, he was a frickin' freak effing monster. He was having dinners with Bill Gates. From what I understand, he wanted his DNA to be in all these vaccines and all these shots so that the whole world had his DNA or some shit like that. Believe that or not, guys. I believe it. This dude was a freak. Okay, and the real sad part is all these politicians, all these world leaders, this dude was making hundreds of millions or $1 billion he was worth. A couple billion, 3 billion. And Donald Trump wants to make it go away. Can you imagine that? Okay, I, at this point, want every one of these sumbitches to be locked up until God gets a hold of them. Put them in a prison, lock them up, throw away the key until God has his way with them. And I tell you what, man, if I was the president, I'd be going freaking nuts, man. I would be going after all these guys. There would be 10,000, 20,000 freaking people in jail right now. Okay? But no, not one. And Donald Trump, the other day on TV, oh, you know, we got to get off this Epstein shit. Okay? We need to focus on health care. Healthcare, you mean pharmakia in the Bible, sorcery? We need to focus on that. We need to focus on healthcare. We need to focus on taxes. We need to focus on the economy. You know, we've had enough of this Epstein shit. You know, either Trump, he knows exactly what Epstein was up to. The fact that he is going to let all these pedophile, murdering, baby eating, blood drinking, adrenochrome sucking people free, he's going to let them all go free. That's what he wants to do. That makes Trump just as guilty as Epstein, in my book. Okay? I'd throw Trump's ass in jail and throw away the key as well, because all these pedophile, rapist, killer, baby eating scumbags are going to go free if Trump gets his way. He wants to just sweep it all underneath the rug. Holy shit, man. You know, Hillary, Bill Clinton were on that island how many times? Oprah Winfrey is on that island how many times? What the hell was she doing there? Again, all these people knew what this guy was doing. The guy was worth $2 billion. He's getting paid a lot of money for whatever he was doing. Adrenochrome. You guys know what that is. That's when they torture these kids. I seen a video on Instagram where Epstein was taking a magnifying glass in the sun, had some kid tied down to the ground, and he was burning him with the magnifying glass, trying to get his adrenaline going. The kid was screaming and yelling. Okay, the dude had dungeons on his island where he was holding all these kids and all these women and all these people. Okay, adrenochrome. Maybe he was making hundreds of millions of dollars on that shit. Okay, from what I understand, from what I read, and I don't doubt it one bit, man, you got to get the adrenaline flowing in these kids. You got to torture them. They take a needle and they stick it up through the eye into the brain or some shit, and they suck out this adrenaline blood or whatever the hell, and that's how they extract it. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Doing that to these kids? Holy shit, man. These people are freaking monsters, dude. I mean, they are monsters. These are evil, satanic demons. Oh my God. And Trump wants it all to go away. He's either involved or he's protecting all his pedophile buddies. Because I'm telling you right now, I think the whole freaking government would be involved. Like I say, Prince Andrew, Queen Elizabeth, all them blood-sucking, whatever the hell you want, all the way over to Saudi Arabia, Israel. Everybody was in Jeffrey Epstein's book as a customer. Unfreaking believable, dude. And Trump wants to sweep it under the rug. Holy shit, dude. As I said, that makes him just as bad as Epstein, if not worse. I don't know. I don't even know if you can get any worse than that. But like I say, again, Epstein was just one tip of the iceberg. How many more below him are doing the same damn thing with all these kids all around the world? You know, and we don't even know it. We don't even see it. I don't know. You know, it's just a certain group of people that are buying these kids and drinking this adrenochrome and whatever they're doing. There's big money in it. You got to be in a certain circle to do it. Again, Hollywood. It seems like it's Hollywood, politics, world leaders, rich people. Unbelievable, man. You know, but I'm telling you right now, man, that if nothing is done about this, that if the world looks the other way, you guys are screwed. If these politicians get voted for again, if the government even keeps running, it's going to be, I swear, if you guys are hearing my voice right now and you vote for Trump or you vote for any of these sumbitches, dude, you may be going to hell yourself, because again, if Trump wants to sweep it under the rug and you're going to vote for these guys to keep them in office when you know what they're doing and what they did and what they know, you're just as guilty. I'm telling you right now, anybody who votes for these demons, you are just as guilty if you hear me and what I'm telling you than you would be. I mean, the government needs to be torn down, burn it down. People need to stand up, rise up, abolish this shit, throw these people in prison, as I said, until God has his day with them. Throw away the key, never let them out. These people don't deserve to be walking free or walking the streets or walking anywhere. They're this Pizzagate, John Podesta and all these guys for pizza. They got their own codes for raping little boys and raping little girls. Cheese and sausage pizza, you know, they got their own little shit going on there. And that was in the Hillary emails and all that bullshit. So she's part of it. Oh my God, dude. When you start seeing how deep this shit goes, I mean, the pedophiles are running the world or the government. And they're not just pedophiles. They're eating these kids. They're drinking their blood. You know, they're raping them. They're killing them. They're torturing them. Oh my God. You know? Dude. And like I said, just a fraction of these files have come out. And nobody's arrested. Nobody's going down. You know? Wow. Unbelievable. Anyway, guys. Yeah, I think Jesus is coming back soon, man. I really do. I hope he does. You know? Because, I don't know. If people allow this and vote for these people. I mean, Steve Bannon, one of Trump's best little buddies there. He was in bed with Epstein. And you know, oh, here's another one. Did I tell you that already? That Epstein, apparently, according to these files, after he was arrested the first time and let loose, he ordered, I don't know, how many barrels of sulfuric acid to be delivered to his island. How many, you know, I don't know, 400 or 500 gallons, whatever it was. And what do you do with sulfuric acid? That's where you put bones and bodies to be dissolved. Okay, that's what that's for. And that's on file. Okay, that he was able to do that. Steve Bannon, one of Trump's buddies, from what I understand, he was in bed with Epstein, and same thing. They had some freaking, I don't know, some house where there was a jacuzzi full of sulfuric acid in that house. Again, man, the files go deep, but everybody's involved. And it's insane what these people are doing and how many people you never knew about it until now. But the shit's actually going down. And like I say, Epstein is just the tip of the iceberg. How many other child trafficking bullshit's going on in the world and what they're doing to these kids? Bad enough they're being aborted down the street by the millions, chopped up into pieces. Bill Gates, oh yeah, Bill Gates. Oh yeah, he's trying to squirm his way out now. He was hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein for a long, long time. Yeah, now he's you know, the files are coming out with Bill Gates. I can't even believe they're releasing the files because the justice system is corrupt as shit to begin with. I cannot even believe they're letting some of these files out with big names on them. I can't believe it. I figured they cover that shit up and never let it out. But maybe God is working. Maybe God is exposing. Maybe God is going to see what you guys are going to do about it. You know, God is exposing the evil. He's letting it come to light. And he wants to know what we're going to do about it. Are we going to turn the other cheek and just go about our merry way? Or are we going to allow this shit to happen? Because again, if Trump has his way, all these pedophile, murdering, whatever you want to call them, demons, they're going to run free. And it's going to be business as usual. He wants to go, oh, let's just focus on healthcare. Let's just focus on the economy. You know, don't worry about none of that. Just leave that shit alone. You know, let these kids be murdered and tortured. You know, we ain't got time for all that. Unfrickin' believable. Child Protective Services is heavily involved in it. The whole freaking government. Every state, all the governments, it's like demons are running the world. Child sacrificing. You know, you read the Bible, child sacrifice way back when, to Baal, to Baal. And they're doing that shit today. I think Jeffrey Epstein's island had some rooms. Some guy got in there and he was videotaping shit. And then, you know, they had pictures of Satan. You know, but Baal or Baal or whatever, you know, probably doing sacrifices right there to that. Anyway, man. God help us all. Peace out. Take care. God bless. Have a great day, guys.